Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a game between Ouga and TSLPolt. So Polt is an amazing Terran player, Ouga is another amazing Protoss player, so this is going to be a PvT and the map is Entombed Valley. And well, what's good about this map, this natural base is a bit off to the side, can be quite fun to hold, and the third base easy to get, but obviously there's rocks separating your main and natural from the third. And also the second ramp up there. So what will both players do? It should be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. It should be amazing. Polt obviously is just awesome, and I'm a bit in love with Polt and his Terran play. He's amazing. So yeah, this should be fantastic. Meanwhile, I mean, what's going on at Ouga's base? Well, he's getting his pylon down. He's not doing anything crazy as of yet. Neither is Polt, but there's not too much you can do crazy at kind of a minute into the game, so this should be fun. Obviously this map is really quite big, so I mean it's a long rush distance. There is this back passage as well, and that can have some interesting stuff, especially if you don't put anything to scout it, because you can have your army position in the middle, hold the watchtower, and then suddenly your opponent moves up the back and kills you. And obviously there is this low ground here as well, so maybe Polk could even do something there with tanks. I mean, you can get some tanks in here and they can probably siege up and do a lot of damage, so this should be really fun to watch. I'd love to see Polt use this kind of map to his advantage. Obviously though, Colossi as well, they can just walk up and down this cliff area here. You can get a pylon to warp up in on the high ground. There's just a lot you can do, and I hope they do a lot of stuff. So Ouga's going to send out this scouting probe there. Just what will he be able to see? Not very much, because his opponent in the top right, this is a rotational symmetry map, and what that means is that you can spawn in any position. It's not actually rotational symmetry, but you can spawn in any position. I'm only saying it's not because obviously there's this base here with the two rocks in the middle, and this base doesn't have any rocks, but you can spawn in any position, which is quite unusual because a lot of matches you can't. Anyway, so what will Ouga be doing? Well, he's getting his cybernetics core up. Polt on the other hand, still no gas, so we probably will see quite an early expansion out of him, especially given the fact that he seems to be saving up quite a lot of money, and here even comes out that SCV, so well, there we go, an expansion comes down. I'm glad Polt agreed with me that that is what he should be doing. Meanwhile, we will see Ouga moving out with this one Zealot. What is he going to do? Well, he's getting a chrono boost off on that warp gate tech, so could be putting some early pressure on, moving this Zealot out and forward. Going to go and take that watchtower with it, I do believe, or maybe not, maybe he's just going to march up to Polt's base, but that Zealot won't be able to do much because there are, well, 3 Marines there. So even if this Stalker does go and join it, it's not going to be able to do too much just because Polt is going to be getting up quite a lot. He's also following this up with 2 more barracks, so a lot of infantry will be coming out here, and that Zealot is going to move forward. Will manage to get a sneaky kill on 1 Marine. Will he be able to get a second one? Maybe, maybe not. Yes, he will. And that was just a really slow death there, or was it me? Did that Marine just take forever to die? It appeared to, and now this SCV is going to die a horrible death as well. And I mean, it may actually make his way into the base, but no, won't get to scout off anything. Don't know if Polt did manage to see the Nexus. No, he didn't. So obviously Polt is a bit in the blind now about what is going to be going on. A second gas on the way now for Ouga. Polt meanwhile just getting his first gas up. He's got both of his barracks up. He's getting a bunker at the front to defend anything he may or may not need. And really, what else is going on? Well, obviously Ouga, he's got his base coming up. He's got his second gateway, and he is just trying to poke in with this Stalker, but that Stalker is not going to have fun times because that bunker will kill it and it will die a horrible death. Anyway, we will see here Polt getting his second gas up. Still no add-ons for any of these barracks. As I say that, he gets a tech lab though, so just I was thinking he should really have some add-ons. He gets one, so good work there by Polt. Meanwhile, Ouga, well, he's getting his robotics facility out, so we're probably going to see something out there, probably an observer first just for the scouting info, because with this bunker here, well, Ouga, he's got a bad job of trying to get in to see exactly what Polt is doing, and he needs to be able to prepare for that. Meanwhile, chrono boosting some probes out, getting a big probe transfer going on there, warping in some more units, and where is he actually even warping them in? Up here it would appear, because he hasn't got a pylon down, but he does now, so that's a lot better. Stim on the way now for Polt. Polt, meanwhile, his natural base is up nicely. He's got this wall off pretty much complete. Polt, he's happy. He can sit there. He's pretty much safe from anything for the next few minutes. Meanwhile, we will see that observer coming out there for Ouga. We will probably see that followed up with either Colossi or an Immortal. It depends how quickly Ouga wants to go into Colossi. Obviously very, very effective against infantry balls of the Terran player. And, I mean, just another gateway being added on. So, to be fair, that's not much, because that'll only bring him to 3 gates. No sign of any upgrades yet either. And Ouga just appears to be playing very, very passively and getting a big emphasis on his economy. And that's really shown by the workers. He's obviously kind of boosted out quite a few probes to be that far ahead. The income also does show, well, they are equal, but obviously that's because Polt is getting a lot of mules out, and mules are very, very strong. A little pylon down here, just really spreading out absolutely everything. And it does look like Polt is getting ready for a move out, and that Stalker will see everything for a split second, and then he will die. But always a bad time. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, Stalkers do actually die. Zealots, they kind of just disappear into this puff, almost like they're warped out again. But Stalkers, they don't. They just die. They get completely crushed. And now this observer will see absolutely everything. But really, has Ouga got enough to hold this? Well, he's got a couple of sentries, so some big force fields would be super effective. But obviously, I believe concussive shell is... No, it's not done. But we do have some money force fields there. And Ouga doing a great job of splitting up this army. Is going to pick out those marauders very, very easily if he's not... Well, actually, having said that, not so easily. A great job there by Polt, just spreading out those marines, picking off the zealots, and now sentries aren't actually very good in a straight up fight, and some probes even being pulled here as well now. But Polt managing to pick off all of the sentries bar one, and well, that is absolutely great at this stage of the game for Polt. Not so good though for Ouga, who is getting his 1-1 upgrades, getting his Twilight Council out. Losing that many sentries is huge. Obviously, it's a big gas investment early on getting sentries, and you need those high sentry numbers with high energy for the force fields later on. That Immortal, though, doing a great job of clearing out those rocks, and will allow Ouga to take his third base whenever he does one. Meanwhile, Polt also taking out his rocks to his third, and sending this SCV to just build his command center. So, both players getting their third base at pretty much the same time. Although, if we take a look at the loss tab, I'd say this is still going slightly in favour of Polt. One worker killed on each side, but for the most part, this is a pretty even up match. Not much has really swung in either player's favour. This factory is going over to scout. There is a starport up somewhere then, I would imagine. There we go. And just more barracks being added on by Polt here. He has got that +1 infantry attack on the way. Has he got combat shield done? Yep, he has got combat shield done. Those marines just running a strange angle there. He just needs to get concussive shells, which is just started now. Meanwhile, charge on the way out for Ouga, and this little push coming in, but there is 2 Immortals there, and those Immortals will make very, very short work of the Marauders, and will just force Polt to move backwards. A scan does go off though, and will pick off the observer. Now, Ouga can get some good positioning here. He can defend both of these bases quite easily. Obviously though, the medevacs will give vision of the high ground, so if Ouga was to stay here, the marines could position round and that infantry could do massive damage to Ouga. Polt just following this up, his rally point absolutely exceptional. Look at that train of blue dots come over. And meanwhile, we will see a probe transfer going over to that third base. That factory is going to scout it off. Now this is good. This factory going down here, it may not survive for long, but it will just prevent Ouga's army from moving through there too effectively, and will just give Polt a couple of seconds in order to move forward. And that factory will just relift again and just goes down and is acting as a complete block off. That is an amazing move by Polt. And yes, the factory will go down, but look at the damage this is allowing Polt to do at the same time. And Polt is now just going to move back. He's going to snipe off that pylon, and he has got a good arc here. It is a very, very good arc. 2 Immortals are focused down, 1 is remaining, and well, what's he going to be able to do now? He's going to have to pull back, but that was a good little engagement. How many probes did he get? And actually quite a lot of workers were taken out there by Polt. Polt's third base is up happily now. He's just producing from absolutely everything, just as he should be. He's got concussive shells done. He's got that +1 infantry attack done. And really, it's just waiting for that +1 infantry armor. 1-1 is, however, done, though, for Ouga, getting 2-2 on the way. And here we will see those Zealots charge in, and they will get a nice little surround. A force field does go off, and Ouga, not happy with losing so many probes, is going to go and just march his way forward and do as much damage as he possibly can. Doesn't want those Zealots to get too far away from his main army though, or they will get picked off and kited by the concussive shell upgrades. So that was a good little counter push, and it does mean that Ouga has retaken the front of his base, although Polt is just marching right back for more. So Ouga, he's just got to be careful. He doesn't want to overcommit, but he does want to hold this position. He doesn't want to be under pressure the entire game. And we will see now that, well, one Immortal goes down near instantly before he gets too many hits off. Great start to step micro here by Polt, just allowing him to kite those Zealots back. And Ouga's own force field stopping him from pursuing. And those medevacs getting vision of the high ground will allow quite a few Zealots to get picked off. And this is just amazing cost-effective play by Polt. If we look at the resources lost though, Polt's actually a bit behind, which is quite surprising. Income-wise though, Polt has a lot more income, so that is obviously swinging it to his favour. If you're ahead in income, you don't have to worry too much about being cost-effective, because you can just outproduce your opponent. But this is amazing micro by Polt, and it just shows how effective a Terran infantry army can be if microed perfectly. A stim forward as well, just going to pick off another sentry. Will he be able to get another? All of those sentries are actually going to get picked off, and that is quite bad. That single Colossus was exposed and will get taken down. Extended thermal lance wasn't finished. Double Colossus are coming out, but Polt is looking in a dominating position here. One more Colossus is on its way, but has to be careful not to get sniped out. Those Stalkers taking horrendous damage from the Marauders, but it does look like Ouga could, well, just hold this if he is careful. Doesn't want that Colossus to go down, has to be insanely careful, and that is pretty much the opposite of careful, Ouga. You don't want that Colossus dying, especially not before two more come out. Where is that second robotics? There it is. Meanwhile, we will see that Polt is just running his way forward and is doing damage after damage. +1 ship weapons are on the way now for Polt, so he's ready for that Viking transition if he needs it. But the Colossus goes down. Two are on the way, but look at the amount of units here for Polt, and there just is nothing there for Ouga. I think this is pretty much GG. Those two Colossus will not be able to swing it, and there is the GG from Ouga. So very, very good game there by Polt. I think the winning point was when he did use that factory to block off the connection between the natural base and third base, and he then just marched up and took out a lot of probes, which allowed him to outproduce Ouga, and Ouga's claw side just didn't quite come out in time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please thumbs up the video, please subscribe to my YouTube, and please follow me on Twitter and all that shenanigans. Anyway, bye for now, tune in again.